Yeah.
It's lovely to see you, Ashleigh and Sandra, here today for She Can. Girls, tell me a little bit about what you do and yeah.
So we make a very, we have a very sort of simple concept. We started our company based on the idea that we wanted to create like sort of a simple uniform for all women that was flattering, sort of for any age, any body type. And so it was really kind of focused on the cut and the versatility of the dress. And so we make our dresses in Kenya, and we started out basically making them with fabrics that were available in Kenya, which is mostly kitenge. And over the years, we have sort of evolved and branched out to printing kitenge here in Kenya, which are collaborations with artists we work with all over the world. Most of whom happen to be Kenyan, although they may not be living in Kenya right now. And we also produce handmade fabrics in West Africa with small artisan groups. And we're working on some hand-loomed linens in India now as well.
Amazing, Ashleigh. Thank you for that. Girls, I want to mention that Zuri is your brand. Tell me a little bit how you both got there. How did you meet? What's your story?
So we met in 2016?
Yeah,
2017?
Yeah.
A lifetime ago. In Nairobi, we were both living there, and we just sort of like met each other rather serendipitously at a wedding. We just sort of like chatted and like it just clicked, I think. And like at that point, Ashleigh was extremely pregnant and had her baby, I think that weekend or the week later. And I was sort of like coming off of having had a bakery in Nairobi and was just sort of like ready to move on. And so I think that we were at both very different and also somewhat similar places in life. And yeah, so we just sort of like hit it off. And then I'd had a dress that I wore to that wedding that I'd made for myself, just for fun and because I needed clothing. And so I offered to like get one made for her. And it sort of like kicked off everything. I mean, like basically, like she loved it. We met and just sort of like realized that like maybe we had something on our hands. And from there, we just started like buying some fabric and then just like making some dresses and selling them, and then like buying some more fabric, and just sort of like slowly the ball just started rolling and getting bigger and bigger. And now here we are.
Amazing, Sandra. Thank you. Tell me a little bit more, like how many retail places do you have? What is your business mostly online?
Yeah, so our business is mostly online. We have 2 stores in the US, one in New York and one in San Francisco, which we really wanted to have as sort of like a landing spot for our customers to feel at home. So like wherever they are in the world, it's like the neighborhood living room in those cities. And we have a shipment location in the EU as well, for our EU customers. And then here in Nairobi, we don't have a store, but we have a really nice community here, and we do pop-ups that are in person, which is really cool.
Really cool. Ashleigh, what is your main motivator, girls?
Good question.
I mean, I think that both of us are very motivated by like doing things that are fun for us and like interesting. And I think sort of like foundationally for the business, like to be doing that, but also to know that we're able to have an impact at the same time. I think you froze.
Exactly.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, no, exactly. I think that it's really important to us to have created a product that sells on its own, that stands on its own, that, you know, doesn't rely on sort of any other market forces. It's just something people want, and it drives its own demand. And so if we have 100 people stitching every month, those jobs are secure because the product will always continue to sell. And so I think, you know, that's always been motivating, just being able to, as Sandra said, sort of make an impact in production here, and in the communities where we work is also like a big motivator. But we also obviously have to enjoy what we're doing. So, which we do.
Because you have such a great product. And it seems like you're really expanding your product offering as well.
We're starting to. Yeah. It was simple when we started because we thought, you know, just to sort of like have some brand recognition, we wanted it to be like one thing that people associated with us, one style. And now that we have like enough of a community of people who know about us and talk about us and stuff, with each other and in their families, it's like we can kind of start to branch out into other fun things. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks exciting. Girls, what do you think are your superpowers? What makes you so good at what you do?
We work really hard. Like we just work all the time. And we both, I mean, I'll speak for both of us, but like we both have sort of a hand in everything that goes on in our business. There's nothing that happens in our business that we aren't involved in. And I think that one day, you know, hopefully we will step a little bit back, but like, I just think that the willingness to work, the respect we have for each other, we never, you know, if one of us thinks the other is wrong about something, we just say it. And the other one's like, okay, explain. And we talk about it and it's done. It's not like touchy. You know, the business itself is sort of our baby, and all we really care about is that it does well.
Amazing. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Ashleigh. What would your top tips be for other women?
Do you want to take that?
I don't know. I think to like have something that you really believe in. Like, I think that what's really important, because I think that, like Ashleigh said, we work really hard, and I think that most of our work is fun, but it's not always fun. And so I think that like, but if you believe in it and like you feel sort of confident in what you're doing, then I think that it makes it sort of all worth it. So I think that that's really important, if not extremely obvious, I guess. And I think also, I don't know, Ashleigh, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that also one thing I would just add is, you know, when you start a business, you have to act as if it's a real business and it's going to be successful, or it already is. And I think that a lot of people, when they start something, you know, you sort of give up before you get started. You say, well, it's just, I'll try it. And if it doesn't work, you know, that's fine. But I think that one thing we did, which was really good just mentally, is we worked from sort of the top down, and we thought, here's what we want. How do we work backwards to get there? So I think it's just, you know, thinking the right way, having the right attitude about it.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip, Ashleigh and Sandra. Thank you. Girls, where would you like to be in sort of 5 years' time? What is your vision or your dreams?
Well, I think another, maybe this isn't a great tip, but I think that we work very much in the moment and like maybe a month ahead. I think that neither of us in our work or our lives are particularly good long-term planners. I think that we're both fairly impulsive.
We haven't even done Christmas yet. Yeah.
We're not, we're right here in June. So I think it's really hard to say. I mean, I think that like we are constantly sort of like delighted and surprised that we're even where we're at now. I think that when we started 4 years ago, like neither of us could have imagined in any way that this is where we would be. And so I think that it's extremely hard to visualize, like we're not even at Christmas yet, but I think that like hopefully we'll still sort of like be doing like what we want to be doing, and I think enjoying it and feeling like we're still having a positive impact.
Yeah, and I think like one thing that kind of keeps us both engaged is just like a curiosity about what's next and what's possible. So, you know, the only thing I can say is just like, I hope that in 5 years we're still exploring, you know.
That's great, girls.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been super cool to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.